You've done this before. New year, new you. Or maybe it was a random Tuesday and you just felt ready. You downloaded the app, you bought the journal, you set the 6 a.m. alarm. Day 1, incredible. You were basically a different person already. Day 3, still going, feeling pretty smug about it, honestly. Day 7, okay, it's getting a little harder, but you're still in it. Day 10, you missed one day. That's fine. You'll restart Monday. Monday, you didn't restart. And now the app has a notification you've been ignoring for 2 weeks, and the journal is under your bed collecting dust next to your old personality. Here's the thing though, you're not lazy. You're not weak. You're not broken. Your brain ran a scam on you. A very specific, very well-documented biological scam. And it does this to almost everyone. Every single time. So today we're going to name it, explain it, and then actually do something about it. Because knowing the trick doesn't stop the magician, but it does mean you can stop applauding and start watching their hands. Okay, so here's what's actually happening inside your head. Your brain has a reward system, and that system runs on dopamine. Now, most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical. Like you do something good, dopamine shows up, you feel great. That's not quite right. Dopamine isn't about the reward, it's about the anticipation of the reward. Your brain releases dopamine when it expects something good is coming, not when it arrives. So when you decide to start a new habit, your brain goes absolutely feral. A new gym routine, a new skill, a new version of you. The possibilities are endless, and your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. Dopamine everywhere. You feel motivated, energized, unstoppable. That feeling, that's not you becoming a better person. That's your brain getting high on a fantasy. And here's where the scam kicks in. By day 10, day 12, day 14, the novelty is gone. Your brain has seen this movie before. It knows the gym is just sweating in pain. It knows the journal is just staring at a blank page. The fantasy is dead. And dopamine left the building. So your brain sends you a very clear message. This isn't exciting anymore. The reward isn't worth the effort. Stop. And that message feels exactly like a logical decision. It feels like you thought it through and quitting makes sense. But you didn't think it through. Your brain just cut off your fuel supply and handed you a fake reason. This is called the effort-reward mismatch. The effort is real and increasing, the reward signal is dropping. And your brain, being the lazy, efficient machine it is, does the math and says no. This is the 2-week wall. And almost everyone hits it. Almost everyone quits here. But here's the part nobody tells you. The wall isn't a stop sign, it's a filter. So if motivation isn't the answer, what is? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The people who don't quit aren't more motivated than you. They're not waking up at 5 a.m. because they love it. They're not journaling because it feels amazing every single day. They're not grinding through the wall because they have some superpower you don't. They just switched fuels. Motivation is rocket fuel, explosive, powerful, and it runs out in about 2 weeks. Sounds familiar, right? The people who stick around aren't running on rocket fuel anymore. They're running on something slower, quieter, and basically unlimited. They're running on identity. Here's what that means. There's a difference between saying, I'm trying to become a runner, and saying, I'm a runner. One is a goal. One is who you are. When your identity is attached to the habit, quitting doesn't just feel lazy. It feels wrong. It feels like lying about who you are. You don't negotiate with your identity every morning. You just act like yourself. Now here's the practical part. You don't just decide to have a new identity. That's not how it works. You can't just look in the mirror and say, I am a runner now, and have it stick. Identity is built through evidence. Small, boring, consistent evidence. Every time you show up, even badly, even for 5 minutes, even when you really don't want to, you cast a vote for who you are. Miss a day, that's 1 vote again. Not a catastrophe, not a reason to restart Monday, show up the next day anyway. That's 2 votes for. You're already winning. The 2-week wall is the exact point where most people stop casting votes. They let the losing streak define them instead of just being a bad week. The ones who get through it aren't superhuman, they just kept voting. And slowly, quietly, the identity starts to stick. Okay, so we've named the scam. We've explained the wall. Now let's actually do something useful. Here's the only technique you need right now. I call it the boring box. The idea is simple. You take your habit and you shrink it aggressively, embarrassingly small. Want to go to the gym every day? No. Your new habit is put on your gym shoes. That's it. You don't have to go. Just put the shoes on. Want to journal every morning? No. Your new habit is open the journal. 1 sentence. Done. Want to meditate? 2 minutes. Set a timer. Sit down. Breathe. 2 minutes. Here's why this works. Your brain is running a cost-benefit calculation every single day. When the cost is enormous and the benefit is uncertain, your brain says no every time. But when the cost is so small it's almost embarrassing, your brain has no argument. It can't justify quitting something that takes 90 seconds. And here's the secret. You almost always do more than the minimum. You put the shoes on and you go to the gym anyway. You write 1 sentence and you fill the page. You sit for 2 minutes and you stay for 10. But even if you don't, you still showed up. You still cast a vote. the identity still gets its evidence. The boring box isn't about being lazy. It's about being smarter than your own brain. Because the wall only wins if you give it something big enough to stop. Make the habit so small, the wall looks ridiculous trying to block it. That's it. That's the whole trick. You've been quitting after 2 weeks because you were playing the wrong game. Motivation was never the fuel, identity is. And identity is built one embarrassingly small vote at a time. Now go put your shoes on.